like a typical youngster in 20, 30 years back. So like everybody else those days, either you become an engineer or a doctor. I guess true today also. So I went on to become an engineer. At least I wrote the engineering exam and I got into IIT Bombay, which was a big thing in those days. And then after that, I realized that engineering is not something that I want to pursue in the longer run. And my moved to management. So I did my MBA in IIM Ahmedabad. And then sometime when I was around 30, this idea or this bug to start something bit me. And that's how I landed up starting the SIP Academy in 2003. So we had some, as every other business initially we had some challenges, some failed ventures, but finally we stabilized in 2003. And we came up with this concept of training children using the Abacus in India, which was in those days a very, I would say, unknown concept. And over the last 15, 16 years, we have grown quite tremendously in the Abacus program. In India alone, just every week for the Abacus program, we have about 90,000 students who come for our centers across India. So that's a pretty well scaled up number for something which was not existent about 16 years back in this country. And we also started another program for children you call Global Art, which is also pretty well known in Chennai. It's an art program. The idea is to develop creativity in children and using a structured program which lasts over 3 years, the program. And that also we have close to about 140 centers and about 10,000 kids come for that program. So between the Abacus and the Global Art, we are close to about 100,000 students coming across India. So starting off with almost nothing, so we have close to about 180,000 students who come to our programs across India for all the programs. So, and we have obviously to support it, we have now a big structure, a lot of offices across the country, many employees, the whole structure to support it. And we still feel there's a huge scope to grow because India is a large country, as you know it, and there's a lot of scope for growth for this program. Parallelly, all these centers are also run by someone who runs it as a business. So we have actually created so many people to run it as a business. About 80-90% of them are also women. So many women entrepreneurs, many teachers to help kids. So about 3,000 teachers are there across the system which teach. So it's not just the students, you could see the teachers, the employees. They're completely a large ecosystem which has been created in the last 15-16 years, which is actually looking at the whole idea of making a difference to kids and doing something world class. So in Chennai, very recently we did something very interesting, which I think was an idea that just came up out of the blue, I would say. If you know that recently Chennai had a huge water crisis and it was so severe that even globally people were talking about it. Even somebody like Leonardo DiCaprio had tweeted about the problems of Chennai having no water. And it's a genuine problem because when monsoons fail for 2 years at a stretch, how do you give water to 60 million people every day? It's not easy. Even the government doesn't have easy answers to that problem. So we came up with a very interesting idea. We can ask our children to convince the parents for this. Now, why would a child convince the parent for this idea? Because it's a big idea, it's a adult's problem. So why would a child get involved in this idea? And that's why we came up with a very nice, simple idea is, can we give the children a very simple badge like this, which just says, I'm a Chennai rainwater warrior. So if a child in our center were to get a declaration from the parent signed saying that I have checked my rainwater harvesting at my home and it is working in proper order, and they bring the written signed declaration, the child gets a badge.
When we use rainwater harvesting method, we can save water. Due to scarcity in water in Chennai, we lost water. So now we don't have water for drinking any uses. So I'm telling to keep a rainwater harvesting system in every houses.
Rainwater harvesting is a technique used to collect and store rainwater. Rainwater harvesting is saving the rainwater in the earth. We dig the earth and from the depth, the water will fill into it.
And at the end of the day, when we closed the project, we got almost 2,300 odd declarations from parents. And when we did a simple math, because most of the children live in housing societies or buildings. So when you take an average building square feet of just about 5,000 square feet and multiply that by 2,300, we're looking at more than 11 million square feet of residential area covered by rainwater harvesting, and we would have spent hardly nothing actually. I mean, just gave a few badges and we had a competition among our franchisees. So all put together, maybe just about 2.5 lakhs we would have spent. But we managed to get 11 million square feet of rainwater harvesting done. And many parents have written to us saying, we thank you for this initiative. This really is a simple initiative and it really involved a lot of parents, a lot of our franchisees and obviously the children. And our belief is not just in a short run, yes, it has helped the water problem. But I would say many of these children also will feel two things. One, when we have a problem, if we come together, we can also do something about it. And two, when they grow up, they will also be more aware of the environmental challenges which are going to come, and they will think we must do small steps which can reduce or mitigate the climate challenges or climate crisis which is coming.